We are the Andersons.
And this is our story.
When I was 10, I was in a car accident with my grandparents and my sister. And to make a long story short, basically, we were on the interstate heading to a family reunion, and we ran over a mattress, and it locked up our steering and was forcing us into a semi. And the mattress broke free, and we went hard left into a concrete barrier, and then went up the concrete barrier and spun 2.5 times like a football. And somewhere in that whole escapade, if you will, I went out the window, out to the side, and rolled on the pavement as the van flipped over the top of me. From that point on, even though I didn't break anything, I had a lot of neurological trauma that we didn't find out until years later. So fast forward, we're 20 and 21, we get married, we're not even a year into marriage, pregnant with our first kid, going down the career path, working at Enterprise Rent-A-Car, slinging cars, and then we're a couple years into that and I start having stroke symptoms. I'm in the ER multiple times. Then September of 2014, fell to the floor, worst pain of my life. Couldn't see right. It was like in a cartoon, like when a cartoon character gets hit in the head and they have the whole like black curtain coming as they're going in and out of consciousness. Like it was that. We ended up finding out that what had happened is in the accident, even though I didn't have broken bones, it did affect my brain and it didn't heal correctly. So I had connections that weren't firing right. And we found out later that my brain was shutting down. And I was given a diagnosis of 6 months to live if we didn't figure it out from a specialty clinic on the other side of the country from where we were living. And that started the first recovery journey. We spent the next 2 years or so going every other month for about 2 weeks at a time to the specialty clinic to heal neurologically. We had another kid in that time frame, and we're trying to be married and be parents and figure that side of it out while still being in our early 20s. It was a very stressful time.
That was really hard. I had to grow up a lot when it came to new parent and new marriage, and reminding myself that I did sign up for marriage as for better, for worse, sicker and poor, and it tested a lot of my capacity. I spent probably the first 6 months of his recovery just really angry with God, like, what is going on? I don't like this. This is not what I signed up for. I'm pregnant with my second. Don't have a husband that can work. And function. I have crying kids, and he's dropping to the floor, and I have to catch a baby because he's blacking out because of baby crying like normal. And I had a really good friend just remind me, like, this is what you signed up for. It is hard, but you have a God who's got it. And it was really helpful to just have those friends that reminded me of that, because in the midst of the heartache and the chaos of it, it's like, no, he's done this before. There's biblical evidence of him showing up time and time again for his people, like truly, and in worse circumstances than what we were experiencing. Chronic health and being the spouse of that, when people can't see that you have chronic pain, the understanding is very limited, and just navigating that is also really hard because you feel very alone. We had a really good group of friends that helped with that. Mm-hmm. Which was really good.
Yeah, we had a good community. The community part helped to be able to go, okay, we're not alone, number one. Number two, like, just because something is happening doesn't mean that, like, God has forsaken us. Like, God is, like, he's still there, always has been. And we have a choice to make. Like, are we going to take that victim mentality of, like, why is this happening to us versus why is this happening for us? And we refused to allow it to take us down. Coming out of all of that, it took a lot of work to be intentional with our relationship. It took a lot of intentionality to work on a relationship, vertically as well, individually, because we had our own anger to work through.
There's a lot there. We had 2 other neurological relapses in that time.
Right.
Which was really hard to walk through, of thinking he's getting better, and then he relapses again, and people being like, well, why aren't you better? Or why isn't this any better? And it was like, no, this is a lifelong thing. This isn't going to get better. And like Jesus just reminding me constantly, like, he's got it, and he's gonna do it for good for him. And our story, like, people constantly are like, how did you make it? What happened? I'm like, Jesus, that's literally the only answer I got for you, because without him, we wouldn't be together. We wouldn't have the marriage of the integrity and intentionality that we have set the tone for our children as well.
Right. I was praying and I'm like, God, why, like, I know you can heal, like, why haven't you healed me? And just having this very clear voice, and it's only happened a handful of times in my life personally where it's like, this is not my own thought, this is the Spirit talking. And there's only been a handful of times, and one of them was when I was to buy the ring to ask her to marry me, the day in which I was going to ask her to marry me, and this one, those are at least 3 of them. But in this moment, he's like, do you honestly believe I can heal you? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, no, honestly, do you honestly believe I can heal you? I'm like, yes, I do. He's like, so do you believe I will? I'm like, that I don't know. I don't know if you will. I know you can, but I don't know if you will. And he gave me reassurance, like, I'll heal you, but it's going to be in my timing. It may not be until you've left this earth, but you will be healed. And I'm like, okay. He's like, but you can still do work that I have for you. And at that moment, then I didn't need other people to remind me to not be the victim anymore. And to from that point on, I was like, oh no, this is now personal for me. Like, I know what I'm supposed to do. I need to continue moving forward for my family and to shed that, why is this happening to me mentality.
He's a God that is faithful, and he will be there through it all. And he knows what he's doing, and it's gonna grow you and refine you into what he wants. And it's not glamorous by any means, but it's worth it.
We are the Andersons.
But Jesus is our story.